Excel has a number of different capabilities available within the font group on the Home tab. And in addition to underlining, which we're about to see, are some other features that will require us to look into a dialog box called Format Cells. If we want to underline the data right here, we can simply press the U button. If at a later time we change our mind, we can simply press it again. It's what we sometimes call a toggle switch. Recognize the keystroke shortcut, Control-U will do the same thing. That's called standard single underlining, and we see that reference to the right. Sometimes you might want to use double underlining, and that's available from the drop arrow just to the right of the U. So double underlining for that effect too. So we see those two referenced here as well. But there are additional kinds of underlining referenced below here and other features as well. The Format Cells dialog box is very useful, and you can get to it in three ways. One way is by way of the dialog box launcher button in the lower right-hand corner of the font group. We can click this at any time, and it takes us immediately to the font group in that Format Cells dialog box. Recognize that we do have underline right here, and we've already seen single and double, but do recognize an additional feature is called single accounting. And notice that compared to standard underlining, and I'll make that change, watch the line move closer to the data when we're not using the accounting option. Same thing is true if we were to use double accounting, the lines are farther away from the data. And compare that with double, and we see the display that way. So these two features are available only by way of the dialog box. Now, another feature also available here is superscript and subscript, not by way of the font group on the Home tab, but by way of using the actual dialog box. So here's Einstein's famous formula in cell H19. If we were typing this, we would type E equals MC2, then highlight the 2, and we can also get into that dialog box by right-clicking and go right into Format Cells. Here too, Format Cells dialog box, and in this case we would choose superscript for the 2 only. And that makes the 2 look like this. The symbol for water, H2O, we see it to the right. And in this case, of course, we want the 2 to be a subscript. A third way to get into Format Cells, Control-1. And we'll go right there. And in this case, we want this to be a subscript. So we're simply making the 2 a subscript. One other feature available in that dialog box is called strikethrough. So Frank here has left the organization. We don't want to remove the data here, but we do want to indicate that he has left by using strikethrough. So one of our three ways, either Control-1 or right-click or that dialog box launcher, will take us right here, and we can use strikethrough. And that too is a toggle switch. If we go back and choose it again, we will remove the feature. And there is a keystroke shortcut for this. Maybe Bob here has also left. We want to apply the feature. It's Control-5. And of course, at a later time, maybe we change our mind, Control-5 to remove it. When you apply strikethrough, you are only changing the format here. This has no impact whatsoever on the content, and you cannot sort by this, but it does give you the visual that you sometimes need. So these features in reverse order here, we just covered strikethrough. Prior to that, we saw how to use subscript, and before that, superscript, and then the various kinds of underlining as depicted here in columns F and G. All available by way of that dialog box, reachable from the corner there of the font group, or by way of Control-1 or right-click Format Cells.